Hey, today's topic is toxic relationships and its signs. What interesting about toxic relationships is that all the participants of this process had some traumas in the past, not just one person. A person who is in peace with themselves and with the world wouldn't want to play a role of a repressor or a victim. They wouldn't put themselves in uncomfortable situations like that. Realizing that another person is toxic for them, many people still look for excuses why their partners act a certain way. But by doing so, they only get exhausted and frustrated, they lose themselves. And sometimes people who are in a toxic relationship feel like they need the other person, and at the same time they feel like it's bad for them, like it's destroying their personality and their life. In a way, let's talk about the signs of a toxic relationship now. First sign: if you never feel good enough. When you're constantly trying to prove your worth to the person you are in a relationship with, you became addicted to your partner's validation. You live in a constant state of second-guessing yourself. You lost the idea of who you are and are chasing the image of who your partner wants you to be, or who you think he wants you to be. In a toxic relationship, you won't feel accepted, your partner will have little tolerance for your negative qualities and may shame you and belittle you for them. And if your self-esteem is already pretty low, instead of leaving them and the relationship, you may make it your mission to prove them wrong and to show them what an awesome person you are. Next sign: you feel tired and exhausted. If being in a relationship doesn't give you more energy, but takes all of it out of you, then it's an obvious sign of toxicity. When we are with the right person, we feel more energetic, happy, inspired, and alive. You are losing yourself. If your relationship changes you, it should only make you a better version of yourself. If you feel like you are not being yourself or you don't recognize who you are anymore, it's not healthy. Another sign you are in a toxic relationship is when they want you to be a certain way, and when they don't love you for who you really are. This is a big sign that you are not in a healthy relationship. You have to control everything you say and do. You double check everything you want to say on certain topics. You are afraid to be yourself, but you hope that somehow this relationship will magically transform into a healthy one. You are always the one to blame. When your partner always makes it all your fault, they do not value your feelings and needs. They never are open for discussion and say you are dramatizing or just being complicated. One of the important qualities to look for in a partner is if they are willing to listen to the other person and understand their feelings and needs. You are totally right if you think that a toxic relationship can become a healthy one, but it's possible only if two people are committed to make it work. Yes, it's true, for some of us it's hard to leave that person because they also have some really good qualities, and so we drown in the hopes and illusions of a happy future with them, but we are being delusional. Unfortunately, the only way for that to happen is if the other person recognizes that there is a problem and if they want to fix it. Too much criticism. Your partner is always offering constructive criticism, even when you don't ask. This is a learned behavior from a person's parents. If someone was raised by critical parents and have been hearing criticism all the time, then it's natural as breathing for them to constantly criticize. They create the same kind of toxicity in their own relationships. In a toxic relationship, the other person may ruin your self-esteem and manipulate you, so later on you will feel like no one will want you, and so you will stay in that toxic relationship. Another sign of a toxic relationship: you are always fighting. When there is a constant misunderstanding in a relationship, it's a bad sign. Fighting is a part of relationship, it's true. It is something that is necessary for a relationship to blossom and grow stronger. But there is a fine line between fighting fair and making inappropriate and harmful comments at one another. Some unhealthy arguments can even turn into abusive situations. How you fight determine if the relationship grows or falling apart. Even the happiest couples fight, but they use disagreements as a means to resolve the issues and to learn how to communicate better. Toxic couples usually fight to win. They use fights as an opportunity to tear the other person down, to get out all the anger and resentment they feel. The next sign is when your significant other doesn't have your back. Relationships are tested in difficult times. Offering support at the right moment deepens a couple's bond. In toxic relationships, however, partners don't have each other's backs. They don't step up to help at the right moment. Partners are being let down again and again. You're always making excuses for bad behavior. If you're always making excuses for your partner's behavior, whether it's their emotional unavailability, lack of empathy, or lack of support, that's a problem. We all have stressful times and things we need to work on, but if your partner constantly lets you down and ignore your needs in a relationship, then maybe it's time for you to consider a breakup. So what should you do to avoid getting into a toxic relationship? Psychologists suggest for you not to give comfort without receiving it. Partners should realize each other's values and try to understand each other's needs. The thing is also, your partner can be objectively a very good person, but you two may still have different lifestyles and core values, and so when you're trying to fit into his vision of life and relationship and adjust yourself, it's a way for you to lose yourself, and it's a beginning for a neurotic relationship. But alright guys, I hope this video was helpful. Please click the sub bell and like button. Okay, bye!